Fred Handler coached St. Bonaventure University's baseball team for 21 seasons, 1959 to 1981, guiding the program's rise to varsity status. In 2006, the school named its baseball complex after the beloved coach, Fred Handler Park at McGraw-Jennings Field. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you the Vice President of Communications for the Yes Network, one of my very, very favorite longtime colleagues, and a fellow Niagara region native, my friend Eric Handler, who will induct his father into the New York State Baseball Hall of Fame. Go Bonnies!
Thank you very much, Nancy. I appreciate it, and it's good to see you about after a year and a half or so. Thank you very much. My name is Eric Handler, as Nancy said, the very proud son of Fred Handler. My dad could not make it today as he is in Fairhope, Alabama with his beautiful wife, Arlene. On behalf of my dad, my siblings, Fritz, Kurt, Lisa, and Kirsten, his grandchildren, Gus, Reed, Sam, Alex, Max, and Mackenzie, and his great-grandchild, Mila, thank you, Rennie, and the Hall of Fame for this wonderful honor. I'd also like to congratulate the other honorees this evening. I know our dad does not take this award lightly. When he read the names of his fellow inductees earlier this year, he is very impressed and also very humbled. If my dad were up here at the podium this evening, you'd no doubt hear the shortest induction speech ever. Well, he's not up here at the podium this evening, so I'm going to do some boasting. Too often in sports, success is determined solely by numbers, wins and losses, batting averages, ERA, and so forth. Actually, nowadays, we're talking WAR, isolated power, and defensive runs saved. While those statistics are no doubt very important, just as significant is the lasting impact that players and coaches have on the game and on those around them, their legacy outside the lines. As head baseball coach at St. Bonaventure University from 1959 to 1981, our dad presided over a transformative period for the baseball program. When my dad took over the reins, the school's baseball diamond was often unplayable. The outfield fence was actually a snow fence, and the team probably lost more games to the weather than to actual opponents. When he handed over the keys to the kingdom to the very capable Jim Pransky more than 20 years later, the program was on solid ground and on the verge of joining the Atlantic 10 Conference. My dad left his mark on the St. Bonaventure campus literally as well as figuratively. The name of the Bonnies baseball field is Fred Handler Park at McGraw-Jennings Field, as Nancy mentioned. One of our dad's top players, Tom Mara, a 1980 graduate, thought so much of him that he donated the money necessary to renovate the baseball diamond into a beautiful turf field in 2006, stipulating that it be named after our dad. Tom Mara is just one of the numerous former Bonnies players who hold a deep appreciation for our dad and what they learned from him, not only on the playing field, but in life as well. Our dad taught his players how to properly turn two, lay down a drag bunt, and take two and hit to right, but he also played a role in their maturing into responsible young men off the field. College athletics were dramatically different when we were young and my dad was coaching. My brothers and sisters practically grew up on the Bonaventure campus. We really got to know our players. We really got to know our dad's players. We joined them for training meals at the Hickey Dining Hall. We played catch and took part in drills with them. We wore their hand-me-downs, and we were bat boys and bat girls at games. We used their leftover equipment, and we even rode the team bus to away games. We had access to all the school's athletic facilities and equipment 24/7. We enjoyed charmed childhoods. We saw firsthand how our dad developed close bonds with his players. The trivia games during practices and on bus rides, hosting players at our house for cookouts, and my dad's acting as a second father to so many of them, providing guidance with their academics, social lives, postgraduate lives, and just with life in general. In addition to his coaching baseball at Bonnies, our dad taught there for almost 40 years. Furthermore, he was a longtime varsity assistant basketball coach during their glory years with Fred Crawford, Sam and Tom Stith, and Bob Lanier. He was the head freshman basketball coach and he later was a basketball scout for the Bonnies. In fact, just a few steps away from Fred Handler Park on the Bonaventure campus is a basketball court named after our dad. So as I said, he certainly left his mark on the school. In fact, he was inducted into the St. Bonaventure Athletic Hall of Fame in 1992 and is also a member of the Hall of Fame of his alma mater, St. Joseph's College in Indiana. Another Bonaventure baseball player whose life was touched by my dad is Kevin Stubby Lester, another one of tonight's inductees. Stubby, take a bow. To this day, Kevin loves reminiscing with my dad and about my dad. Kevin can regale you with stories about the primitive playing conditions and equipment at Bonna's, those cookouts at our house, away games in the Buffalo, Niagara Falls area that included stops at George's for Super G's milkshakes, Ted's Hot Dogs, or Como restaurants. In closing, I'd like to turn our attention to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, that other Hall of Fame. The criteria to enter that Hall of Fame includes what is often called the character clause. In addition to statistics, Hall voters are asked to consider integrity, sportsmanship, and character. As a coach, our dad possessed all those attributes, not to mention selflessness, humility, and the desire to improve and grow the game. To our dad, your 5 children, your dear wife Arlene, and your late wife Anita could not be prouder. To Rennie, thank you once again for recognizing our dad's accomplishments. This is an honor the Handler family will cherish forever. Thank you very much.